This one's pretty cool. Today, we're gonna talk about our custom built 3-star Niner Air 9s. That's right, I said 3-star Air 9. This is the aluminum one. Niner does not offer this build. We think it's a good build option. We had some 3-star parts kits left over from our carbon frames that we had built into some other builds. We decided to make some pretty cool aluminum Air 9s. Pretty awesome builds for the money. We're gonna run through the bike, go through the frame, the build kit, drivetrain, talk about the wheels, the tires, the general all around on the bike. We personally have experience riding the carbon versions. We think they're pretty awesome bikes. Can't wait to tell you about it. Let's start with the frame. This is the Niner aluminum Air 9 frame, otherwise known as Niner Air 9. The carbon frame is Niner Air 9 RDO. This does not have the RDO. The RDO is for the carbon. The aluminum is just Air 9. You've got a through axle on the back, through axle on the front. It's a boost frame. On the aluminum Air 9 frame, everything's external. You can see the cables for the shifter, the housing for the rear brake is all outside of the frame. In this day and age, that is a bit weird because a lot of stuff's going internally, but on a bike like this, it's really handy. You can actually just take this thing apart, put it back together, super easy. Let's go over the wheels and the tires. The wheels are Stan's Arch. These are the Stan's Arch with the S1 rim. Mostly you're just gonna find these on OEM builds. These wheels came in with some of our carbon Air 9 RDO build. For tires, we've got a Schwalbe Racing Ray on the front in a 2.35. We've got a Schwalbe Racing Ralph on the back in a 2.35. I actually used these tires most of last year for XC racing. I like the tires. They got a little bit of a different bite edge on them. Once you get used to them, you kind of know where your traction is at. Good race tire, and they roll real fast. Time for the drivetrain. Pretty much a standard GX build, except for the crank. We've got the Truvative Descendant crank. You've got a GX Eagle cassette, GX Eagle rear derailleur, GX Eagle shifter, and a GX Eagle chain. These Descendant cranks were the cranks that we're shipping in on our 3-star Niner builds. We just carry these over to the aluminum bike. As far as our brakes go, SRAM G2R brakes. That's the 4-piston calipers. Personally, I really like the G2 line of brakes. I've been riding them the last few years. I used to be a Shimano guy when it comes to brakes. I got on these. I really like them. Whether I'm XC racing or not, I've become a 4-piston brake person. I just like the extra braking power. I was riding the Ultimates, and I really like those. As far as rotors for the brakes, we've got a set of SRAM centerline rotors. These are 180s on the front and a 160 on the back. Seems to offer a good balance between front and rear power, with the front brake being the one that slows you down the most. As far as the cockpit on this bike, we've got the Niner carbon handlebar. This is the XC carbon handlebar. Again, same bar that you'd get if you were to order one of the carbon Air 9s in a 3-star build. Standard stem on it, and we just got the standard Niner aluminum seat post on it. We didn't put a dropper post on it stock because it is going to raise the price of the bike $200 to $300. Some people might want to put a cheap dropper. Some others are going to put a really nice dropper. We did not want to put a cheapo dropper on it just to hit the price point. For suspension fork, this is a Fox Factory Stepcast 32. Nice fork. The remote lockout. As far as remote lockouts, personally, this is my personal opinion on them. I don't use them. I had this fork on a bike and I just took the lockout off of it. I didn't really worry about it. Set up air pressure properly. The damping works like a charm. Who is this bike for? I think this bike is for a couple different people. One, this bike is for somebody that wants a quality drivetrain with a quality fork without breaking the bank, getting into carbon frame pricing. We have these things priced under 2,000 bucks right now. So this could be just somebody who's riding a lot of the local single track, not riding very rowdy, but does want the quality parts on a bike and doesn't need the carbon frame. Also, the other group that it's a really good bike for is probably your junior high school racers. It's a great performing bike. So that's the build. We think it's pretty cool. Our goal for our custom builds is to try to put together the best bike we can put together for the money. Sometimes we can really hit a good price point depending on what type of parts kits we might have in stock. This one, bang for the buck, pretty tough to beat. Very competitive bike. So that was really quick. I just wanted to show you this cool custom built Air 9 and some of the fun things that we can do for a really good price. Thanks.